Hello guys, so welcome back to week 10 of our video internship. So today we'll be dealing with a couple of tasks here from task 1 to task 7. I'm not gonna spend much time on this, so it's most of them are just you have to just read some of the information there to mostly understand what's happening, but everything here it's interesting to learn about and it's fun to do. So let's get started and just have a quick walkthrough on what we were dealing with this week. So path traversal allows you to access files outside the web. It allows you to access files outside the web.
Trying at the same shit. Kinda tight, tryna give a fuck. Saving grace has never hit the same
What did I do wrong? System 32. Oh, in the system 32, we're gonna go into the drivers folder. Files. Transfer. Give lab 1 a try and read the etc files in the okay. Machine. Okay, so our machine has started up, so let's see what we have. Lab 1, we need to test out this. So a file name, we just the etc, and then we say password include. Okay, what was the question again? Try to read etc. Step 2. What is the directory specified in the include function? So, okay, alright, line. Lab 2. Type anything random and let's see what directory. So we see this thing in the include function. The includes directory is included here. It's included. Before we typed our own thing we queried here, the includes folder is the one which is included in the function. So give lab 300 etc password in the request. Okay, so flag 3 home lab 3. So as always, right, you're just gonna type etc since you're trying to read that file, and you're gonna be presented by two things you need to take note of. One is the current path you're in. If you just type this, sometimes it's not just gonna present you with the file you're asking for. So you need to actually go in that directory, you know, and see if you can try to go back to that directory and get into that file. So let's try one. Let's go 1 1 2 3. And then 1. Oh. Okay, so I don't know, guys, if you can notice this here. When we send our request, it's being appended by this PHP extension. So an additional thing is being added to our payload to stop it from accessing the file we were wanting to access. So what can you do to stop this? We can add a null byte. What's a null byte? A null byte is basically saying 0, right? This is nothingness. It's where everything ends. So you're just basically telling it, or telling, if it's vulnerable, you're basically telling the web server, this is where I wanna end. Don't add anything else. And then when you do this, it's gonna send the request. But since we're sending it here, let's try sending it on the URL, because we can get some, what is it called, URL encodings that are stopping the null byte from working. So let's try to inject it straight into the URL, and as you can see, indeed the request is being URL encoded. That's why we couldn't see it work back then. But then, okay, insert, wait, 1 2 3, we'll try it. What is the request look like? Web 3. What function is causing the directory transfer in lab 4? So we go to lab 4. Let's type anything random. What function is causing? So we get this function called the file get contents. So it's the one, file get contents. Try out lab 6 and check what is the directory that is to be in the input field. Lab. So from lab 5 we go to lab 6. Okay. The question is, try out lab 6 and check what is the directory that has to be in the input field. So there has to be a directory, and then access denied, allowed files at, okay, so folder only, it's like a folder, and then okay, so this is the folder, the try profile, this is the directory. Try out lab 6 and read the etc aus files. What is the version ID? So what can we try? What can we try out? Let's add the folder. Let's do this. Include, and we get the aus version value ID of the version. Go to and flag 1. So for challenge 1, as always, we are greeted by an error message. The input form is broken. You need to send a post request with a file parameter. So in this context, we can use burp suite intercept on, and then send the request, right? And since it's being sent as a get, you right click and you change request method here, then you insert the path. Wait, they're looking for flag. They said it's in the etc flag 1 forward intersection off. Then we get our flag. So let's go to this one. Challenge 2. Also in challenge 2, we are greeted with the refresh page. Please welcome guests. Only admins can access this page. What is it getting? What information is it getting from you for it to know you are a guest? This has to do with your cookies. So let's see what values are in the cookies and what are we dealing with. So immediately when we go to the cookies, we get a THM value is equal to guest, right? Let's try changing this value to admin and see what we get, and then refresh the page. Okay, we'll get a welcome admin. Okay, so first of all, we see two things here, right? There's a directory which is being included, which is admin.php, but then the admin is being appended by an extension, which is the PHP extension. So we're gonna use null byte, right? And then we're gonna get into the folder and see if it's gonna work. And since we're in the no such file in directory, we're in the var www.html, we need to move up a directory to get into the right directory we need to go to. So we go to the cookies, go here, and then for the value we edit it 1 1 2 3. We go 3 directories up, and then we do the etc flag 2, and we add a null byte. Refresh the page, then we get the flag. So go to okay, challenge 3. Include a file in the input form below. So immediately when we get this, we get that it. Let's try doing this flag 3. Immediately when we see that we send our request, something is wrong. Our preview is not the way it's supposed to be. So what other ways can we try? We can try sending it using the post mode, the post method we used in the first challenge, you know, to see if it's any different from the way it's showing right now. And then etc flag, and then turn interception on, include, right click, change request method, flag 3 forward. Okay, it worked. So using the post method, we're gonna use the post method. And another thing we can notice here is that we are also getting an append. Let's just say our file invasion is getting appended to becoming an PHP file. So as always, as before, we just need to change, or we need to add a null byte to specify that this is where I want you to stop. This is where I want nothing else to be added. That only works if the web application is vulnerable, guys. It doesn't work all the time. So let's do it again. As always, change the request method, etc. flag 3 is, I believe, and then we add an null byte. Forward intersection. Voila, we got the flag. Okay, I guess we are done here. Then now we go to NoSQL. So here we're just gonna answer the questions below. What type of structure does MongoDB use instead of tables? It uses documents. What group of documents in MongoDB is known as a group? Is known as a collection, or collections. Between using MongoDB operator reference, what operator is used to filter data when a field isn't equal to a given value? When a field is not equal to a given value, you can read it above. The answer is NE. Following example of 3 documents given below, how many documents would be returned by the following filter? So based on the previous question, right, what operator is used to filter data when a field isn't equal to the given value? So gender, when gender is gonna be filtered, right, because the given value is not present, the female one, right, isn't equal, so it's not equal to female, so the data is gonna be filtered out, and then age is not equal to 65, is gonna be filtered out. So in basic sense, how many documents will be returned if there's nothing? 0. What type of NoSQL injection is similar to normal SQL injection? Is the syntax. What type of NoSQL injection allows you to modify the behavior of the query if you can escape the sync? It's called a operator. What operator is used? Let's see. What are the 2 types of norm? So we get the syntax injection, the syntax injection, and the operator injection. Next, we have what is XML. Okay. XML is the extensible markup language. That's what the abbreviation XML stands for, extensible markup language. What is it? It is a markup language derived from SGML, standard generalized markup language. Which is the same standard that HTML is based on. Okay, interesting. Let's go to the question. Okay, what is the meaning of the acronym? Okay, we got that. standard generalized markup language. What does DTD stand for? So DTB stands for document type definition. Document type definition. What? It's the DOM parser. What action occurs when a server responds immediately? What type of vulnerability? It is the inband, guys. The inband, simple stuff. Inband XSE. What is the content of the file? Guys, for this web application, right? I don't know, maybe I'm the one who didn't see the start machine button, because when I tried to use the previous attack box IP address, I didn't see any hope. I didn't see any way I could do this one. I couldn't access the web application because they give me a link here and it doesn't go anywhere. Like literally no way. Like no way, guys. It's just taking me back to what I did, and I thought maybe it's gonna be in lab 5, but then it's not. And also they gave us an endpoint code contact.php, and it also doesn't work, guys. So maybe if I try 80, nothing works, guys. So I left it like this because I think they made an error. They didn't include the start machine button on that one, or maybe it's my end. Maybe my side is not working. So if you guys know anything about what's happening here, please comment down below and tell me what have you discovered, and did you leave the question or did you find any other way to answer it? Okay, what kind of XSE vulnerability occurs when the response of a server is not visible to the attack? You wanna, it's not visible, it's an out of band XSE. It's out of band. I believe this question was an error though. It was not supposed to be in there, because if all the questions are just gonna be general questions of information you're gonna be given, so this one is the only one which I believe wants a machine, because there's no way to start up with this question if you don't have a working machine. What vulnerability can commonly be performed using XSE? We can server-side request forgery. Yeah, I believe so. Methods are used in LDAP queries to match any sequence of characters, making them powerful tools for broad searches. However, when user input containing wildcard is not correctly sanitized, it can lead to unintended query results, such as bypassing authentication by matching multiple of all entries. For example, if we search query like, an attacker might use a wildcard as such as both UID and user password using a staff or username could force the query to ignore specific user and focus instead on the password. What if we can start by using wildcard, right? And a wildcard here, because as the example suggests, there's an F, but then let's try what happens when you provide an X. Login credentials incorrect. So what does this say? F is closer to a user in the database. So that's why we presented F and star. Oh, common logic. What does LDAP stand for? Light I don't know if it means weight, but then light directory access protocol. Oh, I knew it. It's lightweight directory access protocol. What port does secured LDAP or LDAPs communicate over? Port 636. I guess, guys, this is the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching.